together.
Together.
Oh, who cares?
Oh,
No, I care.
right here.
That's who cares. Right
So you
here.
finally started that podcast.
Oh, who cares?
We did finally start our happy hour.
I know.
This is one of the few times. I mean, this is the first time we're side by side.
Together for the first time by ourselves. Yeah,
Feels like the first time
it feels like the first time. And if it's not, then this is the first time
in a long time.
in a long time, and together in the same building, not remotely.
Right. Yeah.
So-
We've definitely had shows where both of us were remote, but listen, Met fans and potentially Yankee fans, Subway Series starts tonight.
It does.
And we
Yeah.
felt the need to have a happy hour because there hasn't been much to be happy about. So if you want to join, DM the Divide or DM us any which way. We are giving away some LFGM red, white, and blue.
Those things.
They're pretty dope. So if you join us, even if you just mention us, and we enjoy your comments
Yeah.
on Facebook or whatever, maybe we'll send you a shirt. Who knows? You never know until
If you
try.
share this feed, send us a message letting us know you shared it, and we'll get you hooked up. We're gonna be there early, right, at the tailgate.
Yeah, we're looking around a 2:00 arrival. We're leaving our studio around lunchtime, and we're excited. I mean, this is going to be awesome. This is regardless of the record right now, 9/11 means a lot to New York, and the fact that it's 20 years later, and we're celebrating this not only with the New York Mets but with the New York Yankees. It's bizarre and it's weird, but it's exciting. So I'm excited for baseball this weekend. I don't know about you.
I'm super excited. I'd be a little bit more excited if Edwin Diaz would stop giving away games and we would head in with this hot streak that we've been running into since thumbs down gate. I'd be a little bit more excited if the Mets were in a position we thought they were going to be in about 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, when we were leading the division. But it's still Mets versus Yankees. It's 9/11. It's in New York. There's a lot outside of baseball reasons. And even though yesterday's loss was big and it was devastating and it was a loss we couldn't really afford, there is still a chance. There's still a lot of games left in terms of what's
You gotta give us a shot.
what's at stake. I mean, we're still 4 or 5 games out. There's still over 20 games to play. You can make it up, except we're running out of time. Like it's time to win some games.
Right. It's absolutely disturbing and sad every game we lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the fact is, the more days go by and we don't cover more ground, the harder this thing's gonna be. So look, I'm happy that we are in this position. You know what I mean? I get it. It's 5 games right now. Atlanta won yesterday.
Right.
But it could be way worse. I mean, we could be in a situation where, we got nothing. So there's a bunch of people that are going to pop on tonight. We got some exclusives from New York Mets players that were around for 9/11. And we're going to have some fun tonight. So look, you want to be a part of this, and a lot of people are texting me, asking me how to get on right now. So I'm a little tongue tied, but look, this is
Young, you're on.
yo.
Come on, man. Give it to us.
He just texted us and he was like, talk about 9/11. So
Okay.
we are talking about 9/11 and the fact that, look, we know that this is a make or break weekend for both teams, whether it be Mets or Yankees.
Yeah.
But we also know that the Mets just announced that they're wearing whites, but they're going to have New York across the chest. And I think that is dope. I think that is a remarkable idea. And whoever from their PR side or marketing side that was like, hey, why don't we do this? I mean, that person deserves a raise.
It's smart. It's smart marketing. It's a good, it's a feel good, right? It's a feel good story to have. the Mets, have been New York's little brother for a long time, and to do something that stands out. Now, I already know that the players and the teams, I don't know if the Yankees are doing it, but I know the Mets are wearing first responder caps during the game, so which is pretty dope to me. So we'll see what happens with we'll see what happens with that, getting both New York teams to represent the first responders. I know that there'll be a big ceremony and a big hoopla and everything like that. It's going to be emotional. It's 20 years. I remember what I was doing. I was in Miss Narozny's computer class in 9th grade, and we had a TV in the corner and she played what is that, B101, like whatever that radio station with the B is. They used to play like all the one hit wonders, and she had somebody had knocked on the door, told her to turn on the news, and she ran and turned on the TV. And as she turned it on, the second airplane had crashed into the tower.
That's awful.
Like literally within 10 seconds of her turning on the TV. And we, at the time as kids, I really didn't understand what was happening. I said, oh, the building's on fire. And then the plane hits it. And they were like, oh, a plane crash. This pilot is drunk. Like we didn't, like, it wasn't, we didn't realize what exactly was happening. And then obviously everything came after that. And it was just, it's just crazy to think that was 20 years ago. That's in history. My son has it in his history books now. It's like a chapter in the history books, and it's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's bizarre to think that my 5-year-old is going to think of this the way we think of Pearl Harbor, right? So that's about the same. 85 and happened before the 60s. But either way, like it's something that changed our lives. Like we didn't know what to do after that. Let's go Mets, John Perry. I agree.
John Perry, my guy.
Yeah. Also, you notice Corey's bridge fell down a little bit behind you.
Oh,
like after all hopefully that doesn't happen to our new logos behind us. But yeah, that's hilarious that part of the bridge fell.
Yeah.
But not hilarious. It's hilarious because the Mets took over the studio,
yes.
not because of what we're talking about. But look, like the bottom line is, when you think about 9/11 and you think about us as kids, I mean, I was 15 years old in high school in my math class when it happened, and my teacher's like, the principal got on the speaker and told us we didn't have any TV, they didn't show us any television. You kept seeing people getting signed out of class, and I remember a teacher saying, "Hey, listen, you guys need to listen to this announcement," and you could just tell that he was serious and sincere. And it was like everybody it was like you could hear a pin drop, and we all listened to the principal telling us what just happened in the World Trade Center. And we're like, oh my God, that's a terrible accident. And like you said, wasn't an accident. I found that out when I got home. The worst part was my father was working for Columbia Presbyterian Hospital at the time, and he had to get there. And I remember my mom driving him with us, and you could see the smoke. We're going over a bridge. The police stop us, make us go the wrong way on a bridge. So we're scared about that. Then another police officer stops us, takes my dad. Mind you, I'm 15.
Right.
Takes my dad out of our car, puts him in a cop car, and drives away with him, and then makes us go backwards on the bridge that we just came from. So it was a bizarre feeling. And I do believe that we grew from that, like as a nation, and the things that happened after that were beyond something you could explain to somebody, so being remembered of that, I think that a lot of people need to remember how that felt, and kind of give each other a break every so often, right? So
it reminds me how insignificant certain conflicts are in our lives.
Agreed.
It really does, and I get caught up in the moment, and I like to argue with people and debate, and it can get ugly at times. But there are days like this, like 9/11, that reminds us, like a lot of the stuff that we go through on a day-to-day basis doesn't matter. And you know what does matter, Mike?
What's that?
Playing Edwin Diaz when he has 6 blown saves.
No, stop. Oh,
Louis
man.
Rojas. Listen, guy, you look great. You're a dreamboat. Handsome devil.
He is way handsome.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's a good thing you look good because you
Right.
can't manage a baseball game to save your life. Why is Edwin Diaz in the game? Explain it.
Well, he should be in the game. I agree, but
Get him out of a Mets uniform.
Let's walk, my man, who's the only hitter that could probably hurt you. Already had 3 hits in the game. I mean, I totally agree with that. Like, you know, the Marlins are dead in the water, literally. Like they're fish, get it? Dead in the water.
Good one. I like that.
I'll be here all night, or at least till 7. But look, like they're dead, and we just gave them a shot to be spoilers, and they took it. I definitely would have walked them. That run doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's no advantage of, like, you're not gonna help Diaz's psyche by if he gets him out. He already made a great barehanded play to get the first out. He strikes out the next batter. I get it. He was wheeling and dealing. I might go with that hand as well.
Right.
But logic has to dictate. And as much as I don't like cybermetrics, and I don't like some kid with a calculator telling me who's going to win a baseball game, like, this is something that logic dictates. Put the guy on. Like, you know.
He just had 2 blown saves against the Nationals.
Yeah.
So for Louis Rojas to say we trusted, that's okay. So that, I think that's my issue. Louis Rojas went out. He said we trusted this guy based on what?
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, based on what? The lowly way, the Nationals are just as out of it as the Marlins are. Have no business losing to a team like that, right? And
Agreed.
You're talking about trusting a guy who has what, 6, 7 blown saves all year. I don't trust what. Like, you have to elaborate that, because if you're going to use the big T word like trust, you have to also follow that up with, and this is why. And make me feel like an idiot for doubting your managerial skills, other than just saying a blanket, I don't want to hurt my guy's feelings, we trusted the guy. And it's like, I don't like that logic. I don't like the coddling of players' egos. Bro, we were 5 games up. Yeah, we were 8 games back. Thank you, Javi Baez. I won't be one of those guys. I support the players, and I support what the players do. We crawled back into it, but then you have this guy, Edwin Diaz, giving up these games. Rich Hill had given up, what, 2 big runs, 2 scores earlier in that game?
Yeah.
I mean,
Dick Mountain.
Hey, Dick, all right, help us out here, okay? We're trying to win these games. These games are important. The only players that are worth a damn on this team seem to be Nimmo, Alonso, and the god Javi Baez.
Yeah. And now we lost Nimmo for most likely the rest of the year.
Right.
Yeah. Pete Alonso has been great. You've seen Dom Smith and JD Davis become bench players, which is bizarre in itself. I mean,
how do you feel about that?
For Dom, I feel like it's not fair. I feel like everybody else, including Lindor, got the play. I would have treated him like I do with Lindor. Like, you know what I mean? I get it. He's playing out of position, and maybe he's not helping you defensively, but he's deserved the right to fight through this. And so I don't agree with that. JD's had a rough season to begin with, whether it be like injuries that have hurt him or anything like that. So like I don't know. Like I get it with JD. I don't get it with Dom, and I'm pretty bummed about it. And then expect these guys to actually produce in high pressure situations as pinch hitters. It's not going to happen, and you're setting them up for failure. So a lot of me says like, hey, Dom's going to end up on a different team next year.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of, hey, you've been sitting for 2 hours and we blew a 6-run lead in the 6th inning. Hey, come give us some instant offense.
Right.
It's an odd. I hate it. I hate the and he did that with the doubleheader with Lindor and Baez that one game.
Right.
The mismanagement. Like, first off, why are both of those players who actually won you the first game of the doubleheader, why are you leaving them out of the game? And then you're asking them to get in there in the 11th hour and say, hey, we blew this game. We need you to save us right now after you've been on the bench and you've been stiff for 2 hours. It just doesn't make sense. It's all bad management. I need we need Louis Rojas out of here. Sorry, guy. Sorry, all the Louis Rojas fans. Get him out of here.
Sorry, I got to be a dad for a second.
Yes, that's all good. I'll filibuster because I'm going to move swiftly onto you haters out there hating on Javi Baez. I'm going to talk about thumbs down. We're gonna talk about all the people who chastise Javi Baez. We're going to talk about the losers that booed Javi Baez when he came up to bat, when he's been the only player who's provided an instant spark plug. We're going to talk about the people who cheered when Javi Baez got hit by a pitch. Now, you can say, oh, we were cheering that he got on base. But you weren't, because you were absolutely trying to boo him out of Citi Field the moment he went up to bat. So you really weren't, you really weren't cheering his success. You were rooting for his failure. You didn't like that he thumbed you down. Now, why didn't you like that? Because you as fans feel like you have a just because you're a fan and you buy a ticket and you buy hot dogs doesn't give you the right to say and do whatever you want. Booing, you can boo. Absolutely. This is not an you can't boo your own players. Now, I wouldn't do it. I'm not going to pay all my hard-earned money for a ticket and concessions and parking, go there and boo my own home team. I feel like you can be critical of a team. I feel like you can have an opinion about how the team is performing, but to actively boo the players and then also cheer when they get hit is, to me, totally unnecessary. To me, it's totally disrespectful. And you don't really deserve to call yourself a fan if you're going to do things, if you're going to act in that type of behavior. So what does he do? Him and Lindor and VR, they come out, they thumb down when they start playing well. Fans don't like it. Now, to me, the thumbs down really wasn't about the fans. I know he said that. I know he said, hey, why are you doing this? It's because the fans booed us and did this, that, and the other. I think it was more of a rally, right? At that point, they were on a big losing streak. At that point, the Mets were losing their grip and falling hopelessly out of the playoff picture. And then what they decided to do is they thumb down the fans, say, hey, this is a rally cry for us. This is us uniting as a team, motivating us. Yes, we don't like the fans because they're also human. So of course they're not going to like people booing them when they're doing their job. Just like I would suspect all you burger flippers and you shelf stockers out there who are acting like you own the team because you pay a ticket price, even though less than 15%. How do you know? How do I know what, David Fritz? Elaborate. I'm ready for the conversation. I am on drugs. I'm on a drug called fandom. Okay.
I'm not on drugs. But I just saved my daughter too. Like,
yeah, she was about to. I was about to get
yo,
on myself.
that was nuts.
But so
Dave Fritz, DM us if you want to get in this.
Yeah, get in here, Dave.
We'll throw you a shirt.
Yeah.
And just DM us.
Let's argue.
I agree. Let's beat the Yankees.
Yeah, John.
Tonight.
My main point as I was filibustering there is, who cares how you get motivated? If the price of the Mets winning 7 games in a row at that point was to get thumbed down because the players decided to unite, and Javi Baez being the only player that seems like he wants to win, he's trying to steal bases because he realized the team is faltering. He's overshooting his base running because he knows we need the runs that bad. To me, I like that. That's not a dumb play. Yeah, he chases pitches, but so what? He's been literally the only source of offense that has been winning us these games. And I don't care that he's thumbing us down, especially if the price is winning. How can you say when someone is cheering about or not? Because as soon as he got hit by the pitch, Dave, they were cheering literally 3 seconds after they were booing that he actually was up at the plate.
Right.
They cheered because he got hit by the pitch because they don't like him. A large amount of this fan base doesn't like Javi Baez for whatever reason. And it's because he has the balls to tell them he doesn't like certain behavior. Now, to me, his mistake was actually explaining it. He should have just kept it at it's something between us and the players. That's to me, that was his only mistake, because yes, when you start antagonizing these fans, it gets nasty because the media and the team, Sandy, Steve talking to you, picking these nut ass fans over your players. Guess what? The fans don't win games. Sorry, fans. Your tickets don't go to the player salary as much as you think they do. TV rights do. And I tell you what, there's tens and millions of more Mets watchers who are still going to watch the games, especially if the Mets would continue to win, regardless of whatever gesture they did. And if it was me, Mike, I wouldn't have gave him the thumb. I would have gave him a different finger.
Oh my God. Well, I'm in between you and Dave right now. And Dave, if you message us, we'll send you a shirt. I do appreciate both sides of it. I've never booed as a fan. I've never booed. Actually, ironically, as a young kid, my dad had tickets to the Yankees and the Mets, and I witnessed more booing in the Bronx than I ever did in Queens. And I think that's what put the nail in the coffin for me to be a Met fan, honestly, was the fact that we didn't boo our players. But also, like, Piazza was booed too, and he said, you know what I did? I made sure that for the rest of my career that didn't happen. So I understand that every fan has the right to boo. I don't do it personally. Yeah. But with that said, I don't care what symbol or symbolic, whether it's this, whether it's the pepper shaker, whether it's thumbs down, whatever they want to do after they make a hit or a big play. You could literally give me the middle finger after you hit a home run. Right. I don't care. I want to see a championship. Yeah. So I don't care if you're not on the team 2 years from now. As long as you got me to that promised land, you could do whatever you want to me. Well, not whatever, but
I mean, yeah, give me a World Series.
You could give me whatever gesture you want.
Mike, listen,
okay?
I was in the Air Force, so I'm not going to rule anything out. Dave, so I don't know if you joined me after I said this. I said at the beginning, the fans can boo. I'm not against the fans booing. It's not something I would do. I don't understand it. Yes, at some point you can. There is a price of you do buy yourself some of that leeway where you can voice your opinion any way you want. If that's booing, that's great. Also, though, on the same side, you can't get mad if the team doesn't like it.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Like I get that you think that they have to just eat it. But let me ask you a question, Dave, if you're still listening. Right, winning is all and that's what I'm saying. So if the price of you getting thumbed down because the players are galvanized by your booing, what does it matter if they're giving you a thumbs down? Thumbs down all the way. It's a fundamentally useless gesture that fans got upset about because it was directed towards them. And to me, that's silly, because what do you think helps the players more? Do you think the players all of a sudden were going to be like, well, they're just going to keep booing us? Do you think that's going to make them play better? Or do you think saying, hey, F you guys, as a team, as Javi Baez gets in that locker room, who clearly has a leadership role because he got other players that have been here already doing it, to me, that's great. I wish it didn't come at the expense of, I just wish the fans would appreciate the game a little bit better, because none of us can go out there and do whatever these guys are doing. They are way better. At the lowest level of Major League Baseball, the worst Major League Baseball player is better at what he does than we are at what we do. And so I feel like fans just don't appreciate that enough. And that's just my opinion on it.
Yeah, look, like I think that the Mets made this into something bigger than it needed to be, with like a press release from Sandy. I just thought that was uncalled for. Joke. Also, like Baez, the way he explains it wasn't like, he quickly retracted it afterwards. And it was like, that's just something between me and Lindor. And I don't think it was that big of a deal. Like, honestly, like, Lindor's been booed since he got here, So of course, if they bring his friend in, like, he's going to defend him. I mean, like, if this fan base that we have wanted to boo me the whole time, Germ's going to come out of nowhere with a gesture that you may not like until I get my shit together. So, like, look, it's Subway Series, it's Mets Yankees. Both teams need this win without saying much. So I think that what's kind of cool is like, normally in September, at least for a Met fan, we're out of it.
Yeah.
But also normally in September, a Yankee fan, maybe they already know what the game plan is for October. So it's kind of cool to have both teams in this situation where like they can't afford to lose a few games. And I'm excited for it. So it's just an amazing experience. Shout out to the Mets for letting us go to this game with them in a group for our entire network. They agreed to this 2 years ago before COVID, and it's just I'm excited to be there. I'm excited to tailgate with the 7 line. I'm excited to in the marina lot, and I'm excited for everything that's going to go on. But also, a guy who was instrumental in 9/11 and a guy who meant a lot to the New York Mets at that time, our captain, John Franco. I actually got to ask his experience with 9/11 and the after effect. So we're going to play that for you real quick. It was a very cool experience. Shout out to Johnny for doing this with me. And here we go. Really cool seeing you, but also a guy from Brooklyn. My grandma was like, you need to be like Johnny Franco. Like whatever you do in life, you just gotta, no excuses, go out there and do it, because that's what you did. And and you did it for a very, very long time in Queens for us, and we all looked up to you. And not only that, when 9/11 hit, like the stuff you've done since then and probably before that, but it became like magnified with the first responders, is unbelievable. And it's unlike anybody else. I have friends that are New York police officers and firefighters, and they just talk about you like you're their friend. And it's so cool. And we do appreciate everything you do for New York City. You're Mr. New York in my eyes.
Yeah, as a professional athlete, especially growing up here in the city, you kind of appreciate the work that the police and firemen and all the civil service workers do to keep us safe every night. And for me to go up and shake hands or visit some police stations, firemen, or thank them, the sanitation department, which my dad worked for, it's the least that we can do to put a smile on their faces. And because of them, we will be able to sleep comfortable at night.
And that's true. Like because of them, because of guys like Germ, as much as you don't agree with his opinions, military, and a firefighter in Leland, North Carolina.
Shout out.
My partner, the guy who makes all these graphics and keeps me afloat, is Germ. Frank hates you.
Yeah, no, we're gonna get to Mr. Frank in a second.
Right.
Shout out to David. If you're going to the game tomorrow, David, find me. I'll be there with a thumbs down Mets. Let's go Mets shirt. All right, let's unpack this, Mr. Frank. Sorry you were stone cold wrong. They're getting paid to do well. This is not just play a child's game. Stop you right there. You cannot penalize people.
It is a child's game. Like literally, Peyton's playing it. The 4-year-old that I just saved from our headphones.
But I mean, to me, I also believe that's false. We played cops and robbers when we were kids.
Right. Nobody's getting paid for that.
Yeah, cops are.
Oh, touche.
We play house.
Never thought of that.
Doctors, right? Doctors get paid for that.
Moms. Right.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's a game, yes, but it's
Peyton's
also
gonna boo her mom.
but it's a business. It's yes, it's a game. It just happens to be their line of business. It doesn't matter that you think that it's a child's game, but it's a multi-billion-dollar global entity. It's a private organization.
Right.
It's their job.
Correct.
Now, let's move on to his next thing. If you're not playing up to your potential, the fans have a right to boo. On the other hand, this is a case of spoiled millionaires being upset that they are not doing their jobs and taking out on the fans. All right, I'm going to stop you there. Okay. Whatever you're doing, Frank, for the sake of this, and I'm just going to take my joke out on you. You're out there flipping burgers.
No, he's not. Stop. I want Frank on the pod. I'm actually sending him the link.
I'm going to come there and boo you because you're not flipping the burgers at the quality that I'm used to. It's your job. You're not doing it right.
No, he is.
They work.
Stop.
So So
he even
Frank,
said when you play cops and robbers, the robbers also, and I love that comment.
yeah,
So
that's funny.
he's
Good job.
rebuttaling you
Yeah.
in real time, and
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, sure. I don't hate you either, Frank. I'm just getting these jokes off.
yeah,
But what I'm saying is, these guys, yes, they're millionaires for playing a game, but again, these are the elite of the elite. They spend their entire lives, right, since a young age, especially the Hispanic players. There are universities in like Cuba and all these other places where the MLB steals talent from. They teach these kids how to speak English, and all they do, they're only there to play baseball.
Well, speaking of that, like I do feel like Baez was tongue tied when they asked him that question because English is not his first language. It might not even be his second, but he's a bright individual, and I just feel like a lot of these guys, and when we had Todd Frazier on last week, oh snap!
Yeah, my guy.
Live from Citi Field.
Look at this guy.
What's going on, fellas?
Look at him.
Vintage Mets. What's up, man?
What's going on,
Carlos.
fellas? I'm in the building right now. Somebody bless
I
me
don't
with a
even
ticket
care that he's got
today. I'll
himself
be here
muted right
Yeah.
now. He's showing us.
Live look at what's going on right there.
Yeah,
Is he gonna be there? Is he gonna be there?
Yeah, we're gonna see him tomorrow. Like we owe that man a beer.
Yeah. All right. This is a live look at what's happening right now. This is our guy Carlos showing us the field.
Dang.
This is
So
awesome.
my headphones died on me, so I'm putting my
I
phone
can't.
to my
We can't
ear
hear you if you're
wondering why
talking
my
to us.
camera angle was
But
so crazy.
Yeah, maybe
this
you
is dope.
muted yourself.
Yeah, maybe he muted himself. I don't know. But thank you for showing this. Hopefully you
Did I
can
mute
hear us.
myself?
And thank you for showing us everything. This is great.
Shout out to Vintage
Yeah.
Mets. Follow him on Instagram.
Oh, he has a bunch of dope stuff.
He's our guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Hi.
Yep, there he is.
There he is.
What's up, man? We can't hear
Handsome. What's up, handsome?
Peace,
My guy,
fellas.
it's probably
Peace,
loud.
peace.
We can't
Yeah, yeah.
hear you.
you. We can't hear you, but
I
maybe
think
you're
you got it muted. Can you hear us?
Damn,
Well,
I don't know why you
shout out
can't
to
hear
Vintage
me.
Mets.
man.
We can't
Sorry,
hear
y'all.
you.
We can't hear you.
If he's
I'm gonna
talking.
message you.
Yeah, message him and see what's going on.
Can't hear you. Yeah.
So David, okay. Yes and no. If the Mets are winning, do you think fans are going to care that they're getting thumbs down? Technically, no. If you're an upstart team, ticket sales do matter more, right? But if you're a legacy team like the Mets are, I'll be honest with you, man. The fans don't matter because guess what? There will always be fans in the stands. There will always look at the Marlins, who have been awful, and they've been doing it on purpose. Still are able to operate with nobody in the stands. Basically, it's not a great long-term plan, no. But if the Mets are winning games, people are going to show up anyway. The New York Knicks have been the worst franchise in the NBA for like the past 30 years. And guess who was the number one most valued franchise when these companies do these assessments every year? The New York Knicks. You know why? Because it doesn't matter. Because clearly the fans don't matter. Because the fans aren't going to Knicks games. They're the Knicks, man. They're the Knicks. It's just like the Mets are the Mets. Well, that's true too. I mean, that helps. That helps. Hey, but we got banked too with Uncle Stevie here, so that's. I mean,
we finally have that.
I'm not making your point. You're saying that the fans.
Frank needs to join.
I don't. His point is that
I love that you brought it back.
I do. Well, because I wanted. I didn't unpack the rest of it because Carlos joined us. Okay. They're not doing it, taking out on fans. So what? Lifelong. Shout out to you for being a lifelong Met fan, and but I don't view it that way. I view it as if the team's winning, the fans' loyalty only lies when the team is winning. If you're gonna boo your players, to me, you discount anything you're saying as a fan because you can't just be great all the time. I'm a Sixers fan. I know this. We were actively tanking, and I would never show up and boo, right? And because and they told us, hey, we're going to lose on purpose.
Here's the situation. Like for me, if I didn't take it as Baez was booing me because I never booed him.
Right.
The same with Lindor and same with Kevin Pillar because KP did it too. Like he put his thumbs down. Like there's some video of that. Look, like I also do think that, and we're getting some messages. No, you're good, Vintage. We love you.
No, thank you for showing us the
that
field.
was so
that was
cool.
awesome.
Honestly, it got me goosebumps for tomorrow night.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Thank you.
if you're on tomorrow night, comment with us, and we'll have some of these shirts, exclusive LFGM
You can't
red,
even
white,
buy
and blues.
these.
You can't buy them. We're not selling them.
Nope.
We're giving them out to our fans and anybody who joins and wants to talk some Mets. And honestly, this dude gave us a lot of
Yeah. Well,
So
I mean,
even if
so
he wants to DM us,
I do understand what you're saying, and I did, like, you can boo. I just also feel like you can't get mad when the players don't like it. Like, to me, negative reinforcement rarely helps. And you're talking to a guy who came out of the military and got nothing but negative reinforcement. I understand that I understand the impact of negative and positive reinforcement. I don't think chiding your players is going to all of a sudden make them play good. You need something to galvanize them. In this instance, it was the booing that turned into the thumbs down. The players were sick of it. Javi Baez told you guys to screw yourselves. And then we got 7 good games out of it.
yeah, it was great. I wish they would thumbs down every day.
They should still do it. I swear.
Yeah.
But Uncle Stevie comes out because he's always going to take the fan side because that's his job. And I understand that, nothing personal. But to me, it's bullshit when you have your GM who gets drunk at a party.
His party.
At Stevie's party.
Right.
They
gave you stay at my house after
but
hours.
they gave more press. They did an official press release for this stupid thumbs down thing than they did for the president or the GM or whoever it is. The guy, I didn't even know who he was. More press for that than the guy getting drunk, having a DUI, possibly going out and killing somebody. To me, that's a little bit more serious.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I was 22 years old. I worked for a company from New York. You might know their whistle, but the owners of that company, they can have a great time, right? And they are passionate people, but they always were concerned about the way I got home. And so Uncle Stevie, I'm glad I work for the people I work for and not you, because, like, honestly, like, I was 22 years old when the owner of my company realized that I had talent and that I could help them and that my friends could help them. And, we had dinners, we had situations where, it required a hotel room for me. And they made sure I was there and they kept me safe. So they're huge Met fans too. But yeah, I agree with that. Like, to kind of just, that could happen to anybody. Like, I know tons of people who've gotten behind a wheel and I was like, this, you know what I mean? And maybe that's me out to dinner where I didn't have drinks and I'm just witnessing the guy about to leave a bar. Or it could be somebody I care about that I'm like, hey, you probably shouldn't drive, like, just stay. And they still go out and get that. So I got one with cheese ready. I don't know what that means, but I'm excited.
I'm excited too. That sounds good.
That's cool.
Hey, Frank, appreciate you, man. If you catch us at the game, send us a message. I'll meet up with you, man. And shake your hand. I appreciate all the feedback. You too, David. Come find me at the game. Send the divide. Send us a message, and we'll get you ready. So with this game tonight, after there are 21 games left, 20 after tonight. We're 5 games out of the NL East. We are 5 games out of the wild card. Gut reaction.
We needed to win 7 at one point with like 20 to play, and we didn't do that, right? My bad,
Frank. My bad, Frank.
You're not that is
that's funny.
Germ wins an argument regardless whose feelings were hurt.
My bad.
And that's why I love my Facebook felon, Germ. But look, he's a passionate dude. He loves the Mets because of me.
Yes.
And we've been together since you were 14?
14.
14.
I was 14, yeah.
Yeah. But he's my guy.
I'm going to be optimistic because we were 8 games back and we crawled to win 3.5, like at some point before we dropped 2 really bad games. It can be done. So we have obviously the series with the Yankees, but then we have the Cards, then we have the Phillies, we have 2 games against the Red Sox, and then we have a series against the Brewers, and then the Marlins, and then we finish up at the Braves.
All you got to be is 3. So
Yeah.
I think of it like we're 2 games back, right?
Mhm.
So how sweet would that be going to Atlanta, even if we're 2 or 3? Peace out.
All right,
Dave.
David, thank you for joining us,
Thank
sir.
you.
Appreciate you.
Let's go Mets. How sweet would that be? Like, let's pretend we're 2 games out with 3 to play against the Braves.
Oh my God.
Like, I'm ready. I'm
Yeah.
gassed up for that. Like, I don't care. Like, we need to win. So it's exciting. I do believe whether it be the Mets, Phillies, or Braves, 2 of these 3 teams are going to be around at the end.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be a cakewalk for any of them.
Yeah, I think we can get hot. The pitching needs to. The problem is I don't understand where the defense goes in the 6th inning routinely in these games. There's like a blunder that puts 2 guys on base or 2 guys score because we overthrow or we're not fielding properly. It's like little things like that. It's we can't get it together where we finally have offense for a game, but then the pitching's awful. And then finally the pitching's great, but then the fielding and the batting is awful. Like, we need to string out of these 20 games. I'm going to discount tonight's game. Out of these 20 games, we need to string together 10 dominant games. I think that can get it done. That where we are in a position at the end with the Braves to fight for that last spot. And I'm not talking wild card. I'm talking about the division title. The Braves, I believe, have a West Coast trip coming up. That's going to be tough for them.
Yes.
And so we obviously we need them to lose, and it sucks that I hate those positions where we don't control our own destiny. But if we can get 10 to 12 of those good solid games, I feel like we can be in a position to make a final push at the end there.
Agreed. But what we are in a position is to just enjoy this weekend. Let's focus on these 3 games. Let's win tonight. Let's win tomorrow. And Sunday could be a wild card. But look, it's Mets, it's Yankees. I'm excited. 9/11 like kind of gets you a little, like we said, Germ actually provided services for this nation more than I would ever do for them, but and I do appreciate him for that. But look, I'm excited for this weekend. I'm excited to thank, our group will be filled with firefighters, military service. He is 2/3 of that. And then, we'll have NYPD in our group, my buddy Julian. So I'm excited for this weekend. I'm excited for tomorrow. This is not the last you'll see of me and Germ. We're working on our remote setup so that we could do this with the 7 line and, maybe have some after fact interviews with our new camera that we just got.
Yeah.
But look, it's fun. You just got to keep cheering.
Yeah.
Stop booing and cheer.
Or keep booing, but don't get all butthurt when the players thumb you
Boo
down.
back.
Yeah,
Like, who cares?
Again,
Who cares?
especially at the
Oh, who cares?
especially at the expense of winning. At the end of the day, winning is all that matters, and you need to put your ego aside. If again, what galvanizes the players. We have to believe in this team because this is who we have right now. We don't have time because we're about to get off, but we need to pay Javi Baez somehow next year. We cannot let him go. I know a lot of fans don't like that opinion, and we can talk about it again tomorrow. Come find me at the game. We'll talk about it, but we need to pay Javi Baez at all costs. I get, he chases pitches. So what? You take the good with the bad in life. Before we get out of here, if you notice, we've been sipping one of our sponsors, Bud Light Seltzer. If you go to mycooler.com and order from there, they service us with all of this good stuff. I am particular fond of this one is mango. It's actually pretty good.
Pineapple.
See, I'm not a mango fan, but this is not a strong mango, but they have a cranberry and a grapefruit and a strawberry that are really good.
It's really good.
And I've been drinking all of them, and I'll be drinking them tomorrow. So,
we're gonna have some. So come, we'll be tailgating with the 7 line in the Marina lot, the West Marina lot, and we're gonna be live. We're gonna literally take this all down set it up there. If you're there, we'll throw you some. Oh,
Hey, what up, Bulldog?
What's going on, fellas? You guys
what's up,
hear me?
guys?
I don't think they can hear us.
Respect
came
for
in
your
like
Is
Is
service.
it
You
our
guys hear
fault
me?
because of the studio situation? It is. It is my fault. Wait, I'll fix this.
Okay,
Um,
hold on. Mike's gonna fix it. Hang on, guys. Don't hang up, because we want to get y'all opinions. Sure do. Oh, nope. I don't want to use that screen. All right. Give us a second. All right. Somebody say something, maybe.
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Respect for your service, Germ.
So we were messing with the studio today.
You guys hear me?
I can't hear them. Somebody say something.
Yo, yo, yo.
Oh,
Nah,
man.
can't hear him, Mike.
Still not working?
This might be our fault. It may not be you guys. Apologize for that.
Sorry.
Carlos,
guys,
what up,
I'm not
man?
sure if y'all can hear me.
We can't hear you, and it might be our fault. I don't know if you can. I don't.
I can hear you. I can hear
He
you.
can hear us though. Hey, appreciate you jumping back in. Mike's trying to fix it. We were messing with the studio today. It might be our fault that we can't hear you. That joint is fire. Mike, look at it. Look at Carlos's shirt here. That joint is fire. That is fire. Carlos, come find us tomorrow. I'm gonna get you one of these LFGM shirts. All right, boss? No, I can't hear him. I can't hear nothing. It's all
Sorry,
good. It's
guys.
just, there's like a
Sorry.
static. Yeah, you're good, buddy. Hey, we're gonna catch you tomorrow. You enjoy the game, all right, bro? All right. Yeah, he. Yeah, Frank. Let's go Mets. That's right. Yeah, I know. I wish I could hear my guy.
yeah, that's our fault. We
Oh, did you? Hey, Frank, did you hear Carlos? Or you're talking about us?
that's great. If
Oh,
they
he
heard-
said he heard them. We just didn't hear him, so it's our fault.
yeah, that's one thing we didn't set up when we made the remote admin.
Yeah, so
Um,
this might be our fault. Hey, well, it's all good. We'll catch him tomorrow. Everybody's going to be there tomorrow, and we'll catch him tomorrow. Thank you for joining us for this happy hour. We're about to get situated for the game. Frank, David, everybody who joined us and commented and did everything.
Yeah, message us. We'll send you some shirts.
Yeah,
We
please.
do appreciate it, especially the guys that chimed in, whether
Yeah.
it be Frank, Dave, here, both.
Yeah, he heard them both. So that was
Great.
us. So
That's awesome.
I appreciate you guys. Let's go Mets. Hopefully, yeah, he said he heard him and us and Carlos. So and
That's
the guy
great.
Bulldog. Hey, Bulldog, message us. We'll try to find you, send you a message, and we'll get you a shirt and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's go Mets, Mike.
Good night.
Good
Let's
night.
go Mets, man.
So you finally started that.
No.
Oh, who cares?